What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your daily creative reading for Friday, July 22nd. We are going to dive in. I've already said the intention, so it's all the good stuff. We're just diving in here. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective, please? Messages for the, a few of them. So this is what I will read at the end. So with love. Sorry, I've got some paper cuts on my fingers. They're not that great. Yeah, anyway. And this says, celebrate life. Big fan of that energy. Celebrate life. Dear you, there are times in life when taking a risk is better left for another day. Other times are perfect for taking that leap, no matter how dangerous it might seem. Well, hold on to your parachute strings, for today is leap time. Realize that no matter what, we will not let you fall, drown, get lost, or hurt yourself in any way on this one. Even if it may feel like you are in a free fall, we are here for you, and you can stop freaking out about getting hurt and relax into this transition to something new. All the elements are in place, and your soul is ready for a new experience. No matter what you're asking about, it's time to take the risk and do that thing that scares you. No matter what happens, you will land softly, right on target. Don't worry about the outcome. Spirit's got that covered. It's taking the leap itself that's the point. We love your courage. Embrace it. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, let's see where we're going today. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective for July 22nd, please? Messages for July 22nd. So we have the Queen of Wands. I like that. I'm hearing ending the week on a high note. But also this kind of like, this sort of popped out and then went back in. So I feel like there were some trials this week. That was the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups. So almost a little bit like, it's like it came out and then went back in. So I almost feel like there were some challenges, but I feel like you overcame them. I mean, that's pretty obvious here. It's not like it was like this sort of ending of all, like the week to end all weeks. It wasn't anything like that. Oh goodness. It's nothing like that. So we have the Three of Cups. What else do we have here, Spirit? Yeah, I feel like your friends kind of led you through it or guided you through it, or there was some. I think that there's a way you kind of pulled out of that. It was just probably like a day or two where you were like, "Rah," or maybe a day of just like a little bit of a funk. But that like to bring you into the weekend and into the energy of it, I feel like this is great because you're starting off in this inspired place. Like there's something that you came to an understanding about or you realized, and it's like this is definite Friday energy, right? Like the possibility of the weekend, you might have exciting plans. It's like in Southern Ontario, it's all about that camping season, but my back says no camping, it is cottaging. It is not a camping thing so much anymore. But this is like, it's like fresh opportunities. Like there's tons of new, there's a bit of a horizon. There's a horizon. I'm hearing the horizon leap. There's like a horizon jump. Whoa. What is this here, Spirit? What else do you got for my daily creatives here? Two of Swords, the Lovers. Ooh. Five of Pentacles. Interesting. Seven of Swords, the Sun. Oh, my daily creatives. I mean, come on. Judgment and the Eight of Wands. So some movement. I feel like I don't know about how you use your Fridays, but I use the ends of my weeks per se, like when I have a couple days off to just sort of reflect on what happened, and just think, was I my best self? How can I move forward? My cat's eating a plant that she's not supposed to. Are you gonna come this way? Come here. You don't want to eat that plant. She'll just sit and stare at it and be like, "What are you gonna do about it?" I know. Come on, baby girl. This cat. Hang on. I know. She's not a big fan of being picked up. She's got to do it herself, her own way. She's not an Aquarius, but she is, and honestly, like she's my kid. So, she's so my kid. Anyways, so this is you're moving into the weekend in a position of focused energy that's quite directed. The thing that could become a tower if it goes unchecked, though, is this Two of Swords. What I love about this position in particular is that there's this, like, it's not that you don't see, because I feel like this is where you're going to have to turn to what's on the inside. You're going to have to turn to your inner knowing. This is going to be big for you this week and weekend. Um, okay. It's going to be big because I think that there's stuff that you can't see. And I think that having the higher octave of a potential decision available to you or an outcome. Okay, I really do have to move this plan. She enjoys salad a little too much for a feline. um, so it's like there's stuff that you have to take the higher octave of this decision. And decision making is like that, right? It's not just about weighing options. It's about understanding energies and not weighing energies specifically or alone. It's about looking at the energy in particular. I feel like it's about looking at the energy and like leaning into the unknown a little bit. Your protagonist is showing up here. This I feel like it's energies that we're reading here, right? Not necessarily people, but the protagonist energy here is showing up in the Lover's card, which is telling me that this is about the positive view of connections for you, but this is also about movements toward connection. The antagonist position is the Five of Pentacles, which is a bit of like left out in the cold energy. So I feel a little bit like you could feel in this, like, you need to have a better view of the situation in yourself, and you need to understand your own power, because you are showing up in this Queen of Wands energy, which is not, it's very different from a Five of Pentacles energy. The Five of Pentacles energy says, well, I don't know for sure. The Queen of Wands says, I'm not sure if I know how the end will look, but I know that I have the starting point. I know I have point A, and that's enough for me to, move my energy towards point B, C, D onwards. So it's not just about tasks either. This is about relationships. If you're in a relationship, this could be about, you could have conversations this weekend where they rely more on your internal system, and it may draw upon things that it might make you feel not great. But the important thing is not to focus so much on the things that don't, like, I feel like this is like, it's like evocative of like conversations where, check-ins, right? If you do relationship check-ins, it's a hashtag relationship goals. But it's, if you do check-ins, it could be that you're hearing about things that happen that you're like, that weren't great, right? And knowing and that you could do better, wanting to do better, right? That's it. For me, that would be really important to know about, but it doesn't always feel good. Even in friendships, when friends are like, ooh, that it just didn't land well. It didn't land well, or this didn't feel great, or, like this, like sometimes it's like this for me. These things they can feel like this, but the reason why this is showing up in the antagonist is because if you stay there, this Two of Swords energy will become your tower. It will become what you will need a tower to get out of that energy. The tower will be feeling stuck. When you're not stuck, there's so much, and I think this is a literal interpretation of the Lover's energy, but I feel like there's so much love here surrounding you and surrounding situations. There's so much connection and a depth of connection. This is also Gemini energy. It's about communication. So I think it's like connection and communication are going to figure quite prominently either this weekend or, throughout this week they did. I'm hearing Mercury retrograde. I don't know when the next one is. I don't have that written down, but could be prominent. But the challenge, the main challenge to overcome here is this Seven of Swords. Now, this could also be engaging with people, because I see a lot of like people in connection, Three of Cups in particular, people in connection. Seven of Swords is like, if you aren't comfortable talking about what you need, you will feel like you're in a Seven of Swords energy just to get your needs met. And it's not about you embodying that energy. It's about you feeling guilty, or like you can't just own what you need and say, this is what I need, this is what I would like to have, and then moving energy towards it, right? And then moving energy towards it. So I'm feeling a bit like I'm feeling a little bit like that's the big challenge here, is to feel like, to remember that you having needs and even wants, right? Wants are this fine dance of negotiating with the wants of others. And it's also about understanding where wants and needs merge and separate and come together, or how they weave together in relationship, in friendship, in family relationship, in your ships, as it were. Because it's like your needs and your wants are not things that take from other people. Sometimes they give to other people, right? My friend, I talk about her a lot on this channel. My friend Steph, she is an amazing human being. She loves to love on her people. I am grateful to be one of her people. So when it comes to receiving care and love, it's a great way for her to direct her energy in ways that fill her cup, provided that her cup is full to begin with. So use check-ins and things like that with friends before you're like, here are my needs, right? Be like, do you have space for this? Do you have space for a conversation? Do you have space for this? Blah, 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 whatever, right? But it's like finding connections and relationships. And I mean, I don't have like this wide friend group. I have a few good friends. I have a few, like one or two BFFs at this point, that are my go-to people. But you don't need a whole city of people. You just need a few, and that few build and build and build and build, right? So it's really understanding that as well. But your needs are not something that takes from other people. So it's about getting out of that mentality. And I think the Seven of Swords makes you more inclined to kind of get your needs met under the radar, when again, it's like it deprives people in your life of being able to meet them. So it also deprives people in your life from being able to connect with you intimately, because it means that you are only seen in exclusive conditions. You're only seen in the best conditions. You're only seen in the best light, right? And that's not great either. It's certainly not about jumping into codependent behaviors to get needs met, but it's just about saying, hey, I really need this. I need you. I need to know this. I need to, and leaning into that and being receptive to receiving that energy too, instead of putting up walls to it. Because the Seven of Swords isn't just about the ways that we take things or take materials or take from other people. This is also about the ways that we can take from ourselves. We can rob ourselves of the opportunity to connect with other people because we're so busy worrying about how it's going to be, that even if we have the best intentions and there are opportunities that cross our path for really great things, right? Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, we won't be able to realize them because we're going to be really caught up in our own judgments about how deserving we are of that energy. We're going to be really caught up in those things. So, and it's not about preventing, it's not about like, running away from towers or anything like that. They're here to transform things. But I built this position into this particular spread, this hero's journey spread, because I feel like when we can see what towers need to come down, we can begin the dismantling process. So our life is not based on a series of crises or emergencies that we have to respond to. May we be in a Two of Swords place sometimes? Yes, absolutely. But we're never in a place of it running away with us. And we are active participants in our lives as opposed to passive, spectators that go, holy shit, when it hits the fan, right? So it's about that, embodying that and remembering that that's what this energy is about. It doesn't always have to be work, right? It can sometimes be fun. There needs to be a lightness. Now, the Sun card is your overcoming here. So the challenge, the big obstacle today is I think recognizing that your needs are important and they are also here to help you be seen. And it's not just, this is like the stuff that builds long-term foundations. That's what the Ace of Pentacles is. It goes all the way to the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is wish fulfillment, legacy building, long-term stability. It starts here. And I think that this is a message to be comfortable with saying what you need. And you don't have to do it like ripping through something. All you have to do is just show up and say, hey, and also making sure that you're cultivating relationships in your life that are reciprocal so that you can say these things and other people can say them to you, right? So the Sun card here represents a beautiful overcoming. I feel like this is like, it's almost like realizing not just your fullest potential, but your full deserving, your full worth, and being unafraid of articulating that, right? This strikes me as very solar plexus energy, which is the energy of like actualizing, leaning into, taking control where you can, not trying to maintain control, but taking ownership is probably the better word to use, because it's not just a difference of semantics, it's a difference of energy, right? Taking control implies like taking the reins and it's like the manipulation of energies, whereas ownership implies accountability as well, which is more of where I'm headed with this. But I think this decision has a bigger impact. It's almost like a butterfly effect or a ripple outwards. Like it has a much bigger effect than you think. And I think that the judgment card is here. This is Pluto energy. There is this element of transformation, because why wouldn't it be a reading if my cat was not trying to come in and out of the frame or leave the room? I'm just going to let her out of the room because I don't know if she needs the litter box and I don't want to play that game. Some people may be comfortable gambling with that, but I'm not. So, yeah. And I also don't want, if she's got to go, she's got to go. Um, so the judgment card is this, it's a sort of decision, but what I love here is this, like, it's a lot of, actualization energy. Like it's taking this energy from within you and externalizing it in a way that brings so much joy. And then I almost feel like this is the understanding and the transformative understanding at that, that it's safe for you to be seen, right? It's safe for all of these parts of you to be seen in this. I'm hearing Pluto's dance. Ugh, my goodness. um, it's like you're allowing yourself to emerge, to be seen. And I feel like this Eight of Wands energy capping out the day, rounding out the day. Like this is where you go next. And that's movement. This is also travel. This is like messages possibly from a distance. Like this is the receptivity. It's almost like where the spark meets, like where the match, like right before the match is lit. If you look at super slowed down video of matches being lit, it's like you see the moment that the match recognizes that it's time, right? Where the match is like, yes, it's my time, and right. Watching those videos in slow-mo, it's like that's what's kind of happening here, where you have this recognition of like, now I know what to do with all of this energy. Now I know how to direct it and where to put it and how to emplace it in my life in a way that serves me, and not from a selfish way or self-interested way or anything along those lines. This is really just the mobilization of energy, and this is communication as well, right? There's a lot of relationship connection and communication energy here, and I feel like this is sort of, it's almost like you're able to show up differently in groups. Like I almost see this as friggin' hockey analogies, of course, but where like playing road hockey and stuff, right? We'd have our sticks. I think I've mentioned this before, but where you take your sticks and then you throw them, everybody throws them into the pile in the middle, and whoever you land on, whatever team, right? So you take a stick and you throw it on this side and you throw it on this side, and the person doing the throwing has like a blindfold on, or they have their eyes closed, so they can't see whose stick is whose. So you just end up throwing them, and then those are your teams, and that's what you've got to work with for that particular game, right? And then you time it so that there was like 20 minutes in a game, and then you would go into the next game. And yeah, so but it's like that kind of energy here, where it's like this bringing energy together, like putting all the sticks in the pile and then seeing what we can make of it. And I feel like that's a really creative energy to be in as well, because when you are aware of your needs, right? When you're aware of your needs and you're unafraid of them being met, and that's the other key, when you're unafraid of them being met, because who would you be if you did not have to argue for or negotiate just to get basic needs met, right? What would that look like for you? What would that feel like, right? Just to have someone say, oh, yeah. And like, bless my friend Steph's heart, because that's, our friendship was one of the really big ways that I got used to this, was just, what happens when someone says, oh, yeah, you're right, actually. I'm first and foremost, I'm going to do better. And secondly, how do I meet this need now? Is there a way I can do this? And just, there's no charge to it. It just is, right? So it's like, who would you be without it can feel dramatic, where you can feel like, you're needing to shout to get needs met, right? And it's about recognizing where that's the case in your life and using the energy to your benefit, so that you're not burning the candle at both ends, trying to get your needs met, because your needs are precious and just deserve to be met. You deserve to be seen where you are and celebrated not just in terms of yay you, but celebrated in terms of people in your life saying, I really know that this is important to you, so I wanted to ask you first. Or I don't know, because I do this thing when if I go on long drives with friends or whatever. I knew one of them in particular at one point in my life had a lot of anxiety, so I would always go over the particular route that I was taking with her first. So I would tell her this, She was a great friend at one point, but our paths kind of went like this. But I would say, I'm doing this, we're going here, but I wanted to let you know I'm taking this route. Do you have any ideas or options that you want to do differently? And it's like, it's such a simple thing, but it's allowing people to be seen and not seeing things like someone's anxiety as a burden, not seeing things like not seeing that in a way that is burdensome or even trivial. It's just saying, I'm just responsive to this because it doesn't matter as much to me. What matters more is that the people in my life are seen and heard where they are and validated in that, validated in their light, in their sun energy, right? Because there's so much of us that comes alive when the needs that we have that we perceive to be burdens are then uncovered as not burdens at all and actually gifts that are waiting to be opened by the people around us in this emotionally intimate way. 2020 on the time. 2020 vision. Yes, that's kind of what this is. But yeah, so let's clarify a little bit here before we close out the reading. Spirit, what messages do you have for the sun? Again, do you know how much happiness is here? This is like just a day reading. This is just a daily reading. But like for the sun to show up twice, this is like some fifth house Leo energy. This is about connecting in relationships in deeply creative ways. This is really like co-creating your experience because you're doing the work of allowing yourself to show up fully. That's kind of what I feel like this judgment card is here, right? Showing up fully. Yeah, I feel like it's a great energy to be in because I think that you're in a place of recognizing what's important and not just important, like the banality of importance. Like you're sitting back and saying, no, like this is really important to me. And people in your life need to be given the opportunity to step up. Not step up as in like step up or ship out. It's not like that. It's give people the opportunity to surprise you. Give people the opportunity to help you, to meet you where you are. It's so much, we're taught through movies that it's like this romantic idea of like, it's so much sexier when they just know. Is it though? Because that was my 20s and that shit was exhausting. That was exhausting. Now I can just say, no, this is what I like and how I prefer these things because it also gives people in your life this sort of boundary within which to be creative, to surprise you, to shower you with love and affection, to do these things. That's how they can enter their creativity in the mix. So it also gives them help too, right? So this isn't just about like keeping your light. It's like this is how we can shine our light for others by being ourselves. Yeah, Ace of Wands. It's shining the light for others. There's so much fire in this energy. Gosh, it's so beautiful. It's like a lot of passion, like the passion that's movement and passion. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective, for my daily creatives for this Friday? Death. That's the bigger transformation at work here, yeah. I do feel like that's the case, though. I feel like there's a lot of, this is like a big shift. It could be something that you were building up to. I'm hearing birthday. It could be something to do with the birthday. More fire energy. Queen of Wands. You could be honestly dealing with a fire sign. It would not freaking shock me. Because, like, we've got a lot of fire here. and also they're what ignites them, right? We have like what lights them. So we have like the air energy of the Lovers. We have the air energy of the Two of Swords. Yeah. There's pentacle energy here too, but I think that's more of like grounding new things in truly new energy. Ace of Pentacles. Are you shitting me? This is like, I feel like, here I am being like, are you kidding me? And then on the bottom, the deck is like, nope. The Tower. Oh my gosh. That was the deck trolling me, just so we're clear. But this, I feel like this really is about all of the amazing things that happen when you are unafraid of just speaking your mind and saying what you want, right? I'm hearing the song Say What You Need to Say by John Mayer, but it's like, just let it out. And not in a way that's like, not in a way that's harmful to others, but it's just about speaking your mind. That's really like, it may be just a reminder. Like there could have been something that happened this week, and the train just went through. I don't know if you heard that. The train horn, but there it is, as if to emphasize the point. I think this is just a reminder that your truth is what makes you beautiful. Your needs are what make you beautiful. Being enmeshed and over not dependent, but like it's codependence. I'm trying to find a fancier word, but there's really freaking nothing. But when you're in that codependent place, it's really hard for your needs to feel like they're being met, because codependence by design, they will never be, because the goal isn't to have your needs met. The goal is to run from something. The goal is to escape being seen, right? So you dive into the needs of other people so that you never have to be seen for you and celebrated for you. And that might be just like this new thing. It might be new because of the pentacles here. For those of you that it's not new, it could have been a new way that this showed up and you're like, oof, that needs to change. And, it could just be a little reflection on the week, but really it's a reminder that like who you are is beautiful. So you need to show up as the full expression of yourself, because if you tuck these needs away and you're like, oh, I'll just save these for another time, that's okay. That doesn't serve anybody, because it means that you don't get to shine either, right? You don't get to shine. So allow yourself to be seen and to shine, because it's freaking beautiful. Okay, so with love, dearest you, do you know how much we love you and want to help you? We are here for you and we hear you ask for guidance, but you must let go and let us help you. That's the other side of your needs being met. You have to let go and let people meet them. I'm just, as much as the deck trolled me, the deck was also right here, just like, oh, okay, all right. You don't have to do it all. You've done your part, now let us do ours. You would be awestruck if you knew how many strings were pulled through the matrix to give you what you need and desire. Spirit has a plan, and when you sign up to be a co-creator, you need to remember to allow the partnership. It's not one-sided. Your desires and plans meet up with those of Spirit. Remember, though, Spirit's timetable and ideas of how things will play out may be quite different from yours. Trust us. Spirit's ideas are amazing. Now let go and let us do the magic. Pay attention to other areas of your life, and before you know it, a miracle will have taken place. We love you so much. Yeah. Miracles. Can you imagine that, though? I mean, if someone had told me in my 20s that my needs would be my greatest gift to others, wow, I would have laughed in their face, right? So it's just let that, and well, not laughed in their face. I would have probably like laughed nervously and been like, are you sure? Because that doesn't feel right. Like, right? So just remember. This is beautiful energy. I hope that you feel it, and I hope that you run with this energy today. Oh, this is beautiful. The Sun, the Ace of Wands, Death, Queen of Wands, and Ace of Pentacles. This is like new energy, fresh energy that's coming in, and I think that there's possibilities for something that's going to be very long-term, stable, and long-lasting for you, be that a job, a project, a relationship. But I feel like there's a foundation of needs and recognition of them. So a good activity or tool that you might want to do is to make a needs list, right? I'll pull it right now, but there was, hang on one second, I'll grab it. I had a relationship that ended in 2014, and I thought to myself, I didn't really know, I hadn't asked myself the deeper questions of like what I really, really want, and what I need, primarily what I need. So that this is also boundary recognition, right? So I put them in this journal, and some of the things like I give myself permission to, there's also like, what are my limits? Where do my personal boundaries end and begin? So this was like, I wrote down for like, I'm not going to show you all the things, but yeah, physical, intellectual, sexual, emotional, spiritual, material, and time, right? Like, what are those boundaries? What's acceptable to me? Like for example, I put like, my time is valuable. I won't wait for their calls or outreach, because I had a habit of just like, I don't want to show all my secrets there, but like, like what skills and abilities and qualities do I feel I can rely on in myself? How do I want to be comforted during hard times? What makes someone trustworthy? Like, these seem like pretty basic things, but keep in mind this, I was in my 20s, and it was, so I wanted to really sink into it. So doing something like this and creating like a needs journal, or a place where you can write about this, like, how can I tell that my boundaries are respected? Where does it sit in your body? How do you know, right? This is an older journal. I've kept it because it's just, I want to be able to reflect on that time and how I've grown. But that's, so making a practice to write that out. Like, what does that feel like? Get into the granularity of it, and allow that to free you. Now, you don't have to make it like a job or anything, but yeah. There was a reader that talked about books, a book with gold lettering on it, and I was like, "There it is." I saw that, and it was an important reflection. This was like a couple months ago, but yeah. So I think ultimately, though, I think this is really great energy, but it's also about how you use it, right? So just know that there's a lot that is possible. In acknowledging your needs, and all of the things that are going to come from that are brilliant. Like the lovers are here, in terms of energies and planets and signs, we have Gemini, we have the sun and Leo. So Gemini, Mercury, the sun, Leo tends to be I associate it with the sun at least, and the fifth house, that's more of the third house in Gemini, Pluto energy as well. I tend to associate it as like half of Scorpio. So, yeah. So, and I mean, death is here as Scorpio as well. But nonetheless, my darling daily creatives, that is your reading. If this resonated, give it a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel. If you want to check out some older, daily creative readings, I'm going to put them here. You're going to see them pop up on the screen as I do this. But if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, it finds you very well, my darlings. Take care.